Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to the channel. My first ever video on this channel too. I have a main channel where I do gaming, so go check it out if you want. I'm currently recording this on my phone because I don't really have any equipment set up, but I'll have to deal with it, right? So let's get to the video.
最終局面という言葉が何度も頭をよぎ
Alright, so as you could see from the title, I am a manga reader, so I knew what was gonna happen. But man, I was waiting for this movie to come out for so long. I watched it in IMAX and in regular, so I watched it twice, right? Um, so I guess we'll start off with the intro, with Amer's theme song and all the hashis falling, all characters falling. I think that was beautifully done. We get to see the Infinity Castle. We get to see all the characters reacting to the Infinity Castle, which was amazing, right? Um, I love the part when Tanjiro is falling and we get that nice shot with the background of the Infinity Castle. I think that was beautiful. Um, all overall, the intro of the movie was fantastic. It could not be any better at all. So let's start off with the first part of the movie, Shinobu versus Doma. Now, Shinobu versus Doma in the manga was a bit short, obviously, right? It was a short fight. I think probably even the shortest of the whole arc. But in the anime, they did the emotion of the fight so well. The animation was beautiful. You could definitely tell, the flashbacks and the backstories, kind of slow down the fight, and it's like it ruins the momentum. But I don't think that takes away from the whole fight itself, right? I think it's beautifully done, like the whole fight. I like the backstories and flashbacks. Don't get me wrong. Like I like that, right? During the whole movie too, I don't have a problem with any of them. Maybe like one or two, but besides that, I think they're all good and it's good for character development and stuff like that, right? The end of the fight when Shinobu dies, I think the emotion is so well like done, and Kano's reaction to Shinobu's death is very good. The voice acting is beautiful, by the way. Doma himself, I know he's like my third favorite demon. Um, he he was very like, we all know he's a psychopath, right? So it's not a surprise to me when I saw the backstory, because I forgot most of the fight from the manga. I haven't read the manga in like a year or two. Um, yeah, I think Domo was very well portrayed. He was definitely a good villain for the fight, and the emotion between Shinobu and Doma. Doma killed her sister. I think that was very well done. But overall, the fight, it was very good. I'd probably give it around like an 8 point. I'll give it an 8.5, right? I think the flashbacks kind of ruin it. Not ruin it, but slow it down, obviously. By all means, it wasn't bad. It was a very good start to the movie. Very good introduction fight. Now, moving on to the Zenitsu versus Kaigaku fight. That was one of my favorite fights. Honestly, top 3 or 4 fights of all Demon Slayer for me, because I love Zenitsu, and seeing him like locked in, like him awake, that was like awesome to see, right? So I was just waiting for that fight, and I think the fight itself was so good. The the flashbacks, I feel like, could have been better placed and a bit more faster. It kind of ruined, like, mid fight. There was a flashback, and I felt like they could have done better with that. But besides that, the whole fight was good. The animation, I would say, it was probably better than the Shinobu fight, even though it was kind of shorter, right? I think it was shorter, right? Um, but it was still an amazing fight. Kaigaku, I definitely way better in the anime than the manga. Um, I mean, I do believe he is Upper Moon 6, by the way. Like he deserved that spot. If he had more time with developing his skills, it would have been he probably would have beat Zenitsu easily. But yeah, seeing seventh form Zenitsu was amazing. I think that was like my top three scenes in the whole movie, which was it was like amazing. The soundtrack, the animation, it was all good. Um, Seeing more of Zenitsu's backstory was amazing because he's one of my favorite characters, and building up that character more is what I want. That's exactly what I want, right? So yeah, I like that part. I like I For some reason I like the part where Yushiro is falling down and he's talking to Kagaku. I think that was a very well done scene, right? And but the highlight of the whole fight was probably Zenitsu with his grandpa. That I think that was the best scene in the whole fight. It almost made me cry. On to the main fight of the movie. It was so good, right? Never did I feel like the backstory slowed down the fight for me. It just kept adding on to Akaza's backstory. Um, I loved seeing Tanjiro. Um, I loved seeing that transparent world. I loved seeing his dad and his conversation with his dad. That was amazing. The beginning of the fight with Akaza falling down was beautiful. It was so sick. It was hype as shit. Um, when he had hit his mark and hit the OST in the background, it was so good. It was so hype. I think that was the best scene in the whole movie. Mark Yu versus Akaza, that was amazing. Sorry about my dogs barking. um,
Quiet!
I like how they added them going through the Infinity Castle with all these angles. I don't think that was in the manga, but it made the fight pop even more, right? It was so good. As I said, Mark Yu was amazing. The beginning of the Gyu versus Akaza fight was very good. I think it was definitely longer. It was definitely the longer part of the fight, and it was very good. Tanjiro versus Akaza was good, but I feel like they stopped a bit too much, which was fine. But it definitely was overshined by Gyu and Akaza. Now the Akaza backstory, people. Okay, the reason why people hate the movie is because Akaza's backstory was so long, and that's just a stupid reason to hate the movie because it just builds on Akaza's backstory so much, and it's definitely the best backstory we've gotten in Demon Slayer so far. I don't know if it'll beat the Kokoshibo backstory, but it was very good. It was the length of the backstory did not feel annoying to me at all. If anything, it felt a bit too short. It was, although okay, the thing is, the backstory was in the middle of like a climax moment when is growing his head back. I feel like that kind of takes away from the moment, but I don't think it takes away from the movie, right? The backstory was beautiful. Um, it was sad. It was very sad. I wouldn't say it didn't make me cry, but it made me feel bad for Akaza even more, even though he was my favorite demon before the movie. Akaza's death scene was so good. I loved the way that Tanjiro saved Gyu, and they then Tanjiro looks at Akaza and they have like a moment. They have a moment. Akaza smiles and then he kills himself. Right. That was beautiful. That was like definitely a top scene in the movie. It was amazing. Man, these dogs do not stop barking. It's crazy. But anyways, moving on to that, the whole movie itself was very, very good. I could definitely see why people complain about the flashbacks and backstories, but for me, it didn't bother me. Sure, there's some slow moments, but other than that, I feel like it's hard to control a 2.5 hour long movie. The movie was 2.5 long. It was like one of the longest anime movie ever. I think second, right? Second longest anime movie ever. But it they balanced the timing out so well. I think the pace throughout the whole thing was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's pretty good. The animation throughout was obviously all 10 out of 10. I think there's like two CGI I think there's like two CGI scenes where it's like, okay, this could be a bit better. Like the end with Muzan, I feel like the CGI there was a bit iffy for a sec, but that doesn't really take away anything from the movie. One of the best scenes is at the end with Lisa's theme song. They're going through the Infinity Castle. Upper four is like controlling the Infinity Castle and it's like making it into one. That was one of the best scenes I've ever seen in an anime. That was amazing. The soundtrack was amazing. The animation was amazing. Yeah. So the whole movie itself was very, very good. Of course, some pace issues, but that's besides the point, right? I don't think it takes away from the movie. Honestly, it's so hard to pace out a 2.5 hour long movie very good, and they did a good job with that. I cannot lie, they did a very good job with that. Demon Slayer is one of my favorite shows of all time. I don't know why. The characters are amazing. I love the story. It's like beautiful. It's beautiful. The plot, sure, it's simple, but that's what makes it good. I don't even think it's simple. I think people just. I think it's just easy to understand, and I don't think that makes it simple. I think it makes it good writing. That's what I think it makes it. But yeah, man. Honestly, out of 10, I would give this movie. I'd probably give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. The only thing that would make it a 10 if some of the pacing was a bit better. But other than that, I think it was the best anime movie I've ever seen. Period. Now, I know the Chainsaw Man movie is coming up, but I'm not too connected to Chainsaw Man. I watched the first season, it was good. I think I gave like a 7.8. Now, it was a good season. I probably will watch it. I don't think I'll watch it in theaters though. But if you guys want me to make a review on that, let me know. I will. Anyways, back to Demon Slayer. Yeah, man. These next two movies are going to just top each other each time. This movie is one of the most. I think it's the most famous movie of anime, right? I think we all agree on that. It's breaking the box office. The dogs are barking again. Man, it was just beautiful. The movie, I had to see it 2 times, and I want to see it again. I want to see it a third time, right? That's how good the movie was. That's how good it was. But yeah, I give the movie a solid 9.5 out of 10. It was amazing. It was very, very good. I cannot wait for the next two. I will reread the manga for sure. And yeah, that's my review of Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Movie 1, Akazu's Return. I had to make this sort of quick because I'm kind of in a deadline. I have to record more videos. But yeah, thank you guys if you guys stayed for the song ass video. Thank you guys to my first ever video on this channel. It means a lot. I hope you stay. Go check out my main channel where it's gaming and stuff like that. I stream on Twitch. And yeah, I love Demon Slayer. It's like
さあ始めようか。宴の時間だ。